Suppose if we have a large file of 10,000, 20,000 or 1 lakh rows
with 20 to 30 column labels, it is not so easy to view the entire file and some middle portion of the file. The read_CSV method has a chunk size parameter to handle this type of situation. Let us see the large file global_superstore, which can be downloaded from the Tableau website for the analysis and education purpose. Here I am setting the display settings of the Pandas to read fewer lines, say for example 5 lines, using pandas.options.display.maximum_rows. And also I am setting header is equal to none and encoding is equal to Latin 1 to read the file in convenient method. This is my setting, Latin 1. You can use EDF8 or any other encoding method. Here you can observe that I am using low memory is equal to paths. Here you can see the file as 51,291 rows and 24 columns. So here I have used header is equal to none. So it is not using the first row as the header or the first row names, first row column names as the header column names. So there are 24 columns. Let us see the first 5 rows of this file by passing number of rows to be viewed as integer, alternatively using the number of rows parameter, that is n rows parameter. Here I am passing integer 5 for the n rows parameter. And also I am setting it to 5 and making the first row as the header of this file by passing header is equal to 0. I got an error, let me correct it. Okay. Now the first row became the header of the file, and you can observe we are reading only the first 5 rows starting from 0. So now in the shape you can also observe it is just reading the file in the form of a small piece, hence it shows you are reading only 5 rows and all the columns, 24 columns. Whereas here it was 51,291 rows. Whereas here it is 5 rows. Very interesting thing, right? This is because I have said number of rows is equal to 5. So that means you can read only a small piece of the file. You can also use skip rows to skip the number of rows. Say for example I want to read only from after 50,000 or after 20,000. You can do so by skipping the number of rows. Skip rows is equal to 20,000, and then you can set how many rows you want to read after skipping 20,000 rows. Say for example, number of rows is equal to 5 or 10. You can read 20,010 rows, only 10 rows after skipping the 20,000 rows. So this is how we can read the text file or very large file in a small piece. Now, in order to read a file in pieces with some significant rows, as I mentioned earlier, we can pass number of rows to a chunk size parameter. So, the one possible way is skipping the number of rows and passing n rows is equal to some integer number to read the file with a small size. Another possible way is to read the large file, we can use chunk size option, chunk size parameter. Here you can pass how to split the large file in a smaller pieces. So it will split the large file in smaller pieces and you can iterate over these smaller pieces to read it again and again. So it returns a piece of text parser object located at some specific location that allows you to iterate over the parts of the file according to the chunk size. These are the few available options to read the large file in a smaller file, but you can still find many ways to read a large file in smaller pieces by your own experience and practice.